Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of On the Rocks podcast presented by Elite Drinks. Today, I'm really excited to have the guest that I have with me today. He's a man of all trades. He's a screenwriter, he is an actor, he's a BBC Asia Network presenter, and an online social media presence. I'm really excited to welcome Mr. Islah to the podcast. Welcome. Thank you for coming.
You did it. You did the intro.
Guys, that took me a couple of times.
Yes.
That's why he's saying that.
I remember that was take 37. Yeah, make sure you get.
It was definitely like take 7. Let's not hate on.
Yeah, add the 3 in the beginning. It's all good.
You're actually right, but I think it was better this time. I want to get straight into, because we got a lot to cover.
Yeah.
So I want to get straight into you creating content. When you first started to create content and sort of why, because I know you do so many different things, and I just want to know where that seed was planted, really.
Okay. Well, back in my day, I'm joking. Okay. So how it all started, I flopped all my GCSEs.
Okay.
When I say all, I passed like 4.
Okay.
And then obviously you needed 5 to then do A levels, right? So then in order to continue, I had to pick up a BTEC. And then when I did, it was media studies. So I never knew what that was. And I was like, all right, cool, I'll just do that.
So like you jumped into it.
Jumped into it, fell in love with it, and that was it. And then obviously as I started continuing my kind of media journey and learning and education and all the way through to uni, realized, okay, it's a very competitive industry.
So did you do it at uni as well?
Yeah, I went all the way through college, uni, everything.
Okay.
That's another long story I'm not going to go into.
Yeah.
But yeah, then I realized how competitive it was, and I was like, okay, I can't exactly just walk into the BBC or walk into Channel 4 and just get a job and start from the bottom. It's going to be quite hard. And this was the era when Twitter wasn't. Oh, sorry, I just ate, by the way. Twitter was invented. So it was Twitter and YouTube, and then there was all these success stories on YouTube, like Justin Bieber. And all these other like American content creators that I used to watch as growing up, and then I just thought, right, okay, these men are getting big on YouTube and doing that. So I thought, okay, there must be a way to kind of start. So then literally I was doing a number of different retail jobs, saving up my money, working behind the till on the weekends, and then going to uni and college uni during the week, and saved up for a camera. I started shooting like music videos, all the hood rat ones, the ones where that they do the gun fingers to the camera like that. I did all of that, man.
They was a big part of the culture, though.
I was doing hood videos for people around the block, just to kind of get my camera skills up, and then that kind of got me known on the ends. Like, oh yeah, Islah started filming now. And then it just went from there. And then obviously, fast forward.
Until now.
Yeah.
Okay. I really think this is an important topic, and it fits in well because a lot of people watching might have similar issues. But what was it like taking a path of creativity, like in an Asian household? What was it like? Were there expectations? Did things ever change? And the whole process.
Oh, my mum and dad still don't know. No, I'm joking.
Why did I fall for that? I don't know if this is a move. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? You might as well end it here. You've been longer than me.
So obviously my mum had expectations because she was the one that pushed me to do English literature and language and all these kind of white people things. I shouldn't say that, but anyway. And I just
sort
wasn't
of
good
like
at
what the mainstream.
Yeah, but I wasn't good at it. Like every time I passed or flopped something, it would always be media. And I was like, this is a sign, like something here I'm good at. I need to pursue it. But I never got that support. Like, oh yeah, if you're good at that, carry on, son. Like, I was never that. Never got no support from family. No one really inspired me at home, and I had to really motivate myself. I had friends around me that kind of pushed me. Do you know what I mean? It was literally that every single typical Asian story you've ever heard. It's the same thing.
Do you feel like it fueled you? Because I feel like for me personally, it's the same situation where like it's not as accepted to do this route, and even though I don't think it's not necessarily like not supported for me, it's not like championed sort of thing, but I kind of use it to my advantage in the sense of I'm like, when I do well, or when I see the success of my hard work, it will like that motivates me. And also I know that will change the opinion of your family, like with Asian families, when money comes in and when these sort of like you start doing well from it, it can change the tone a bit.
It's the truth. I mean, you have to see it like this, right? I know obviously I just came out and I said our parents, right, they came from an older generation. Now for them to get to this country, they had to go through madnesses. Some of them had to get onto boats. Some of them had to like fake passports and make up birthday just so they can get a red passport to move
1st of January.
When they moved here, it's like 1st of January, you know what I mean? Everything. when they moved here, getting a job alone was difficult.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And going through times of racism and times of struggle and financial struggle, and then even trying to build a family and get a council house. They went through so much to raise us, right? And they know what grafting is. We know what it's like to grind, yeah? They know what it's like to grind.
I think
it's different.
It's a survival of the fittest kind of energy when it comes to your parents. Exactly. They didn't know what they was coming to see. They didn't know what they were going to face. But for us, it's more like more of a foundation.
Yeah, and the thing, that's the mindset they come from. So then when you tell them that, oh, mom, dad, I want to do this job for free for exposure so that I can get more work in the future.
What is exposure?
Like, you want to work for free? You bloody bastard. You stupid bloody idiot. I didn't raise you like that. They'll start cussing you.
Yeah,
what are you talking
about? It's true.
It doesn't, do you know what I mean? And then media in general, the industry itself is obviously corrupted. There's a lot of, all of this is haram on the table. It's not, I didn't bring this. It's not mine. Okay, mom, if you're watching.
Let's just be clear. I am drinking, can I just say, some H2O.
We're having some H2
from
zeros.
the special land of Hawaii. No, I'm joking. I think it's a local.
It tastes like Evian. Very good. So they came from that generation, and when you look at the media, they get scared. I mean, that's what, and people are always afraid of what they do not know.
Yeah.
I mean, and parents just fear for their kids. And you will only understand when you become a parent yourself. Like when your child's like walking into the door, oh, wait. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And to your parents, no matter if you're 30 years old, 40 years old, they're always going to see you as a baby that they change nappies for.
Yeah.
That's how they see you. So then for you to then go into the industry that they're scared of, they're always going to be like, are you sure? Don't do that. I don't want you to do that. Be a doctor. Be this, be that. Yeah. So that's where it comes from. It comes from a good place.
It's like fear of just so that you can ensure your financial future.
Yeah. And just like you said, like once the money starts rolling in, sadly, like that's when they're like, yeah. No, but to be honest, like now my mom is like happy for me. She doesn't know everything that I do because but I do so many things. Yeah. So it's like I can't always keep her up to date.
But she gets the gist.
But she gets the gist. Sometimes she asks silly questions, but I'm like, it's just my mum. But at least she's asking. She's always tuning in BBC.
And she's engaging.
She's engaging. My dad, he doesn't know everything that I do, but he just like, he always says this thing to me in Bengali, and he says, chase your career, chase your dream, and money will follow you. Don't worry about it.
That's
and he always says, as long as you're happy. There's a video I put on my Instagram where I called him. And I gave him the news about when I got
I saw that. And it was so heartwarming. I was like, I felt like I was there for the moment. And it's like proper, like, it just shows that, like when you're going trials and tribulations, the processes of just trying to achieve something, and especially something that maybe people around you haven't achieved and there's no blueprint to it. Like when you can give that news to someone after all that hard work, like these are the fruits of my labor. It's such a nice feeling. Like I felt that.
I set the camera up thinking let me see what he does. I thought he was gonna do something typical. Then he started getting emotional. I was like, right, he doesn't know I'm filming this. And I started getting emotional. I was like,
no, it was such a beautiful moment to capture because it was organic, innit? You don't know what was gonna happen, and for it to turn that way.
Now, like, even the other day, I had an audition, and I'm not gonna lie, if I got the role, it would have probably changed my career. And then I got the news yesterday that I didn't get it, and I was literally this close, right? And I was gutted. And I told my mum about it and everything, and she was like, oh no, why can't they hire you? Let me speak to them. Like, I want to, can I talk? And I was like, no, Mum, it's all right. These things happen. But how many auditions I've done, obviously she doesn't know how many I've done. Because there's no point. You do an audition, you get it out of your head.
It's so nice that even though she doesn't know how the industry necessarily works,
but
she's doing what she's trying to do as much as she can to show you support and to just be that mum for you. And I think it's so nice to go through the transition of not having that support from your family. And then it's like, it's different forms of support, and you might get something different from your dad than your mum or your. I think
naturally you have an expectation of this is the kind of support I want and need at home. Like, you're right, son. Oh, let's do this together, sort of thing. Let me drop you to your audition, that sort of thing. But you may not get that, but you get the one here and there, and you just kind of roll.
And it kind of does its bit, doesn't it? You be thankful for like them understanding as much as they can. And
better than nothing.
Definitely better than nothing. I wanted to touch on Asian representation in the media, and I know you just said that you had a role that you didn't get, and I kind of want to focus on like the trials and tribulations of being an Asian actor, and if you feel like it can benefit you or not, or if there's a bit of both. What do you feel about Asian representation currently?
I think there's never enough of it. Let's put it that way. I mean, if you always compare the ratio of white actors and white programs compared to South Asian or East Asian even, or just ethnic, the ratio is always imbalanced. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
However, it is being pushed more. I think more people are writing their own stuff, like with Khan, man like Mobeen. I'm in season 3.
I love that little plug.
People like Riz Ahmed. There's people, yeah, goodness gracious, me, the whole cast, all of these people are paving the way for us.
Correct.
You know what I mean? When I started, there was no really any YouTubers and stuff. Literally, it was only Hamza Productions.
I love Hamza. I think he's great.
And yeah, like there was people that started doing their thing, which inspired others to do their thing. And when I started, I was the only Bangladeshi doing it.
Yeah.
I was the only Bangladeshi doing filmmaking and writing and acting and stuff like that. And it was a bit like, whoa, where'd you come from? Because the only person I knew was Connie Huck. You know what I mean? But I think by paving the way by others paving the way for you, you pave the way for others, and the process.
Cycle continues. I feel like the Hamza production stuff, that was definitely a cultural reset. It was the first time I felt comfortable to like talk about using the Lord doll, things like this. Like he was making jokes and comments, and it was just really like, oh, like there's so many people out there that are like me. Like there's loads of other Asian people that understand
I feel like it's like the goodness gracious me thing. When it happened, it's like there's always another goodness gracious me for the next generation.
Exactly.
And you know, there was, I mean, as controversial as it was, there was Citizen Khan, but maybe Citizen Khan paved the way for man like Mobeen. I'd like to think that man like Mobeen paved the way for something else. But sometimes the industry, the people can put in work, the industry doesn't allow the work to come through the door.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Okay,
like,
yeah.
They'll make things like BBC Asian Network, which is great, but then it's like, we can also do Radio 1. We can also do, we're not just brown people with brown music. We can also do both.
I think this was something that obviously, before I applied for the Asian Network role, I wasn't a common listener of Asian Network. So I had the same stereotype of, oh, like it's just going to be Asian stuff on the network. Obviously, there is an element of that because they have to maintain it. But what I learned about what most of the presenters anyway is that everybody is more than just, okay, I'm an Asian person talking about Asian things. Like everybody on there is capable of doing any of the shows across the network. And I feel like sometimes, do you think that having shows like Asian Network, networks like that, or things that are just branded to Asian people can halt the growth of Asian people in the whole market? Or
I think it's definitely better than nothing. If you didn't have a platform at all, that's even worse.
True.
Do you know what I mean?
True.
So the platforms like Asian Network are great because Asian Network supports our Asian talent
and the growth of it. And
Asian Network's completely changing now ever since I joined it. Do you know what I mean? Other TV channels and other programs, and like I said, I think the industry's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah,
they still need to open the door and understand that, because I'm still trying to pitch an idea. I've already announced it. It's called Take Asian. Right? It's about a British Bangladeshi guy and a British Chinese guy who run a takeaway together, but they're trying to chase a dream in the industry while they're hiding it from their parents.
I love that.
That's a sick idea.
It's
literally, I'm knocking on the door. I'm knocking on the door of all these people, right, of this industry, and they just don't get it. They say, oh, but it's been done before by this and that. I'm like, yeah, but this is completely different. Why is it different? Because he's brown and he's flipping Chinese, bro. Like,
it's a different.
Like, wake up. Do you know what I mean? So the industry needs to open their eyes. But the problem is the people that are really, really high up are the people that are just too old.
Yeah,
they're not with it. They're not updated. Do you know what I mean? So the industry needs to allow us to make these changes and, do you know what I mean, rock the boat a bit.
I understand, it might sound like a silly question, but who is in charge of those right at the top? Like who holds them accountable? Does anyone?
I don't know, some guy called Daniel or the Paul or something. Do you know what I mean?
Somebody
them guys.
You don't see them, you hear about them.
You don't see them. Probably them. I don't know, man. If I knew, then I'd probably be,
knocking on their door too.
Yeah, exactly. But it is what it is, man. And as I've got a really good agent, an acting agent, and she's getting me a really, really good roles.
Amazing.
And yeah, there's more roles out there for people like us. But then again, there's never like the lead role.
Yeah.
It's always like the side roles here and there, and that needs to change, man. But again, we have to work 10 times harder.
Yeah.
Than the average person.
It's very true. I think us as like people of color, ethnic minorities. It's sort of like having to accept that we have to work harder, and it's just the reality of it. We can't play victim. It's easy to fall into playing victim because rightfully so. But at the same time, it's like, okay, we know that it's going to be harder. What now? Like, are we going to let that take over us, or are we going to take that and run with it?
You got to stay motivated, man. Riz Ahmed told me, he said, you got to work twice as hard to get half as far.
That's a great one. It's true. It's true. And I feel like, I don't know why. I think maybe this just might be a perspective thing, but I feel better when I achieve those things. So I think I actually statistically was not supposed to be here. I wasn't supposed to be here based off my demographic, based off my class, based off of being a Muslim female. That's from, you know what I mean? There's so many things that play a role. And it's like, when you achieve those things, it means more than like maybe if I was a white woman that is, of certain of a certain class or whatnot, maybe it would have been, it's more appreciated because like I worked harder for this and it's like I should be able to reap the benefits. So yeah, that's really nice. This brings me into the next part of the vodcast, whatever you want to call it.
Vodcast is like the way my
Why
dad
did
would
you-
say it. Yeah, I saw you do the vodcast. That's what he
Because
said.
that's exactly how my dad would say it. That's how you know we all have the same childhood. Because you know what the worst thing is? Because my parents used to speak like that, sometimes like I would slip up and say we instead of V. So like I'd be like, I'll accidentally do it. And I did it in school sometimes. And one of my girls is sitting behind the camera. She knows like what it is. And it's just,
But it's all coming out now.
it's
innit?
really embarrassing when you do it and then your friends look
This
at you.
accent is fake. She's actually does not talk
I
like
actually
this.
talk like this. No, I don't talk like
It's
that.
like a little Bollywood.
Who knows? Might have a little Bollywood if they accept me.
The
And
Bollywood. That's the thing. Indian accents have different ways, man.
I
If-
only
if
do
it-
one, and it's stereotypical and it's wrong because I am of Asian. I'm Pakistani, so I shouldn't really do the stereotypical one. But it's really hard not to. I wish I knew all the versions
Fine, man.
and ways.
It's fine. If,
But it's all a bit of banter. Do you know what I mean? I can take it. I can dish it. So
if you
it's
want to talk like a Bollywood actor, they talk like this. And it comes with a lot of
no,
body
stop it
language.
because you're an actor, so I can't keep up with that.
This movie was very important to me because that's how they talk.
Can you do other ones?
Yeah, I could do loads.
Okay, can you do I could do American simple. Let's see if you can drop that.
American, you have to like know what region you're from in America, because if you're from New York, then you talk like this. I was walking my
Hot
dog in Queens, New
Hot
York.
dog. I got a hot dog. That's how
Hot
Nicki
dog,
Minaj
yeah.
talks. I really emphasize my inner queen when I do. Okay, do one more.
And
Let's
if,
do one
if
more.
you're from West Philly, you talk a little bit like Will Smith, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of
Can you do anywhere? Because I don't want to try and throw you off, but I don't know.
I could try.
Cool. Do Australian. Can you do
Oh,
Australian?
mate, Australian's like the most
No, get me out of
easiest and funniest accent I can do. You know, I'd love to fucking, do a flip.
Am I just amazed, or is this just really good? This
I
is
don't
really
know.
good, isn't it, guys? This is really good. Okay.
I could fool a lot of people when I did prank calls back in the day.
I used to do prank calls. I think everyone's had a prank call phase. We
Let's
used to-
carry on doing the podcast like this.
Yeah. No, do you want to try? Let's see how long you
Yeah,
can
let's
keep it up.
see how
Right,
long I
cool.
can keep it up.
Right.
Right.
Advice for
Advice.
newcomers in the industry.
Newcomers
I
in the
want to
industry.
know.
You want to know?
No, it's throwing me off. You gotta go back. I'm more excited
And I'm
by
back.
what you. I'm more excited by the sound of in comparison to what I'm saying. Forget the podcast. Just talk to me like this.
Go.
Having 10 people in one, banging. Okay, cool. What's one piece of advice that you wish you knew before you did anything? So before you wrote you did screenwriting, before you did acting, before you even came into content. So complete newcomers that are watching this, that look at your journey and think, wow, this guy is exactly who I want to be like. I want to emulate what he's doing. What's one piece of advice you wish you knew that you could?
Don't
Fast
fucking
forward.
do it. I'm joking. Yeah, man, it's tough, man. If you do it, don't expect to win overnight. You know what I mean? It's gonna take months, years. You don't know in it, but if you're gonna do it, be sure that you know what you're doing and what you want out of it, right? Don't be silly at the same time. It doesn't look bad or anything if you're working in retail on the weekdays and you're doing something on the weekends. You need to financially sustain yourself at the same time. So I mean, I'd be at red carpet events on Sunday or Saturday and then be back behind the till on a Monday.
Wow.
It's not that deep. Do you know what I mean? It makes you
Like
feel
living a
shit, but
double
then
life.
it brings you back down to earth. Do you know what I mean? Surround yourself with positive people, and sadly, that may not mean it's your family, because sadly, sometimes it's your own friends and your own family that don't believe in you.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes I get more support from strangers on social media than I do from my own people that have known me since
That's
uni.
true.
Since college.
Even me and you, like obviously nobody knows on the podcast. It's actually our first time meeting.
Yeah.
But even the support from you, Nikita, who Islah
love
does his show with,
Nikita.
who's an amazing person as well. Ever since I got the network role, I think that I've had great support from friends and family, don't get me wrong, but a lot of support has come from strangers or people that I didn't know beforehand. So like you, like the support was just constant, and it's sad, but it's true that does reign true.
Yeah, and I think you can't blame people as well, because you have to not have expectation. So, I mean, whether that's with what you're doing and expecting to succeed, or expecting people to care the way you care, because they might not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then support you'll get from certain people, maybe because they've been through it themselves.
Yeah.
And another piece of advice I give is be careful who you trust. This industry's full of screwovers. This industry is full of sharks. Work smart as well as working hard. Sometimes you could be at it all night trying to do something, but then it's just not the right content to put out. It's not the right script to be writing right now because the timing's not right or whatever. So work smart instead of working too hard and overworking yourself. There's there's so many bits of advice I can give, but it's gonna take too long.
No, I
need
it.
a TED talk.
No, I know you do.
I need a TED talk.
You've been needed a TED talk, to be honest.
I know. Yo, Ted, where you at?
Ted, give him a talk. No. Let's sort of try and make it a bit more specific then.
Yeah.
You spoke about rejection earlier on, and I just want to know again, how would you tell somebody the best ways to deal with rejection in such a harsh industry? It's so common and it's so repetitive sometimes before you get the roles that you want to go for. How does someone deal with that?
I think actors are one of the communities of people that face rejection all the time, and you have to know that before you get in there. But I've told myself now, when I get rejected for a role, it's very rare that you get feedback for an audition, and now I've started to actually get feedback from the casting directors, and that's very rare. My agent forwarded it on to me. Right, you have to remember, sometimes if you don't get the role you want as an actor, it might not be because of you did it shit. You know what I mean? It might not be because of your talent, right? Because you're always going to be trying to perfect that anyway, right? It could be that someone else just looked more the part, or he was a bit taller, his eyes were blue or whatever. It can be very specific to the role that they're casting for, and it could be that. It could be that the schedule of that guy matched theirs or anything. Or, he looked more related to the other character, whereas you were perfect, but, they look more like brother, sister, so it works.
Yeah.
Could be anything, do you know what I'm saying? So you have to really, tell yourself that and think, you know what, I did my very best, and there's more around the corner for me, do you know what I'm saying?
I think it's hard, to not naturally take things as personal rejection.
Yeah.
Like you said, it could have been his eyebrows were thicker, or that person had a longer torso and we need to make it taller.
There's been 2 auditions, like the one I had the one I got rejected for yesterday. There's been 2 auditions that I've held close to my heart, and I was really oh fuck, I think I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get this, and I didn't, and it broke my heart. But I had to keep telling myself
there's a bigger picture.
Yeah. I think I can say this. I'm allowed. I think I'm allowed. I auditioned for Marvel.
Oh my god.
That would have changed. That wasn't the one yesterday.
Yeah.
But I did once upon a time an audition for Marvel, and that would have changed my life.
Yeah.
But I was close and didn't go through. But yeah, for me, I'm a big superhero fan. I read comics as a kid. I used to go to the library as a kid and read comics.
So this is your journey.
All the Spot the Dog books were back there, and I was reading Superman and Marvel, everything. And yeah, for me, it would have been like a dream come true. But you know what I mean? You live and you learn, man. End of the day, I'm a Muslim, so I believe in Qadr of Allah. So if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. It's not going to miss me. Do you know what I mean?
100%. It's hard to adopt that mindset. And I feel like naturally, when it comes to advice, I can tell someone, I'll move mountains to tell people about themselves and what they should and shouldn't do. But when it comes to taking your advice and also applying it to yourself, it can be such a different story.
Oh yeah. I think creatives are crazy because we talk to ourselves a lot. That's it. Yeah. We just sit in our rooms and be like, no, it's okay. Yeah, but this, yeah, but that. And you're having full-blown conversation. There's like a whole group chat going on in your brain.
There is
you're just
there's this meeting going on up
there.
there.
There's a meeting going up in there.
Should have seen me yesterday. I was like, okay, prep for this, prep for that. I was talking to 6 different people in my head. I was like, okay, you do this, you do that, you do this. And then they was talking to each other. And at that point, you think, if people heard this out loud, I'd definitely be mentally in.
Your brain's like a girl's group chat. Yes, queen. Beautiful.
I was like, look at the camera. I was like, you look at me and I'm going to look at the camera. So you already know what that's like.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so once again, getting into specifics, I know you have such a crazy online social media presence. People are really engaged with you, and rightfully so. Alhamdulillah, rightfully so. Do you ever feel like the pressures of social media get to you, and if so, how do you deal with them?
I think they used to. I used to get sucked into the whole numbers game, like followers. How many followers, how many likes, how many views. I used to be that kind of guy because I used to be like, I'm putting so much effort into my series, and I'm doing lighting, and I saved up for that camera, and it cost me $2,000, and I'm filming this, and someone came along and just filmed their dog doing a shit, and it got 1 million views, and it used to piss me off. And then I used to see other creatives that are similar to me getting more followers than me, and I used to be like, oh, why is he doing better than me? And believe it or not, it was one person that actually changed it for me. DMX.
Oh, really?
DMX, of all people. I was just online, and I was just like, what's DMX up to? I love his music. I ain't heard what he's up to now. And then he was just in a radio interview, and he asked him, what do you think of Drake? And he was like, you know, I am hip hop. There might be Drake,
No, you're
but
not.
I'm X. You know, I listen to me. If I lose focus of what I'm doing, then you know I don't know what I'm doing. I don't care what he's doing.
Too creepily
You know what I'm
good.
saying?
No, stop
So
it.
I was like, bro, that's true. The legit, obviously,
No,
look
yeah.
past his voice. Yeah,
Look
but
past the voice you
that
put
was
on.
true.
Yeah.
He basically said, if I start thinking about what next man's doing or next rapper's doing,
Yeah.
then what am I? I'm losing focus of me.
On your own lane.
I started accepting me who I am, because there can never be another you. There can never be a duplicate of you. There might be someone doing something similar, but you're still doing something different in it. And the people that need to follow you and need to discover you will discover you. And the people that gravitate towards you will naturally gravitate towards you. And the whole numbers game is bullshit. Is bullshit. What matters really in your life is how many people attend your janaza, how many people attend your funeral. When you're buried 6 feet under, and we all will, we are all going to be buried the same way. How many people are there going to be praying for you? You know what I'm saying? It's not your followers. You know, I don't care what _786 is doing, following me, but you know what I'm trying to say? Like, obviously, not credit to everyone who is following me, and, you know, bare love to everyone who's been supporting me through the years. Obviously, it means a lot to me, but you have to kind of get that out of your head, because that can grow an ego.
Can't let it revolve around.
Yeah, and an ego is so dangerous, man. It's so dangerous. It can ruin you. It can ruin. I've seen people grow from 0 to 100,000K or whatever, yeah, and the characters just changed. Do you know what I mean? Like I say, it's all dunya, and you gotta be very mindful of how you can detach yourself and just dip in and out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Like just practicing detachment.
Yeah,
from everything,
yeah.
Whether it's personal,
and it's very sad, because you can easily. I've had conversations with like my best friends who are in the whole social media game, and they're like, oh, this person's doing better than me, and you know, maybe I should do this, and maybe I should like get married, have kids, and post my kids and stuff. I'm like, but is that the life you want to live?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's become the normality for people to post their wife, husband, and kids, and to get more followers out of it, just to get more brand deals. Like, is that what you want?
Like constantly living for that approval.
What are you living for? Because everyone that's living these lifestyles, you then start living it for approval, and it's a level of insecurity. You're putting up a picture or a video, you're not getting the likes or views that you want because people aren't seeing it, or the algorithm's not letting it, but you're upset about it because you're not getting that approval from people. So who you living for now? Yourself or for people?
It's kind of scary, because I feel like it's like the internet's like a drug. It's like instant validation. It's like taking a hit of something, or it's like as soon as you see a like, it gives you that satisfaction. You see a comment, you see interaction, and it's been done so well that we don't know that it's like that. So you're almost living in a bubble.
Poison.
It is poison. And I think that for me anyway, that what I've learned is trying to create like a healthy balance of like online and offline, and remembering like to always be grounded.
Balance is everything.
To be
grounded. Everyone's version of balance can be different.
What's your version?
You know, my version is
how do you maintain online and offline and not to get in your head anymore? Like, what's changed?
I think family, having responsibilities, just knowing where I'm going career-wise, and knowing that, okay, put it this way, if Instagram shut down, what have you got outside of it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know that I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Certain people can have 100K followers, but do you have 100K in your bank? You know what I mean? That sort of thing. Not that money is everything, but it's just knowing when things are getting too much. Because when you start having those thoughts, that's when you know your balance is off. You need to come off Instagram for a bit and do something else. Do you know what I mean? Spirituality. Do you know what I mean? You gotta, like, I have Quran lessons once a week.
I love that.
I mean, because I have to go back to the book. Because if I'm getting all these blessings that Allah's given me, what am I doing for Him? Do you know what I mean? There's a book sitting on that shelf. How much dust has it collected? Or have you opened it? Do you know what I'm saying? You got to do these kind of things to bring yourself back down to earth.
Do you like look at it? Is it like English translation lessons? Is it Arabic lessons? How does it work?
I've done Arabic language. Funny if I was discussing this with
my friends.
I done Arabic language, which is Fusha Arabic. I got up to like the first book, and then the class closed down. I did Tajweed. Then I started memorizing Quran. So I'm still doing it. Obviously, it's a lifetime.
Of course, you never stop learning, do you?
You never stop. But yeah, man, it's.
So do you feel like religion's kept you grounded then, or is it family? Religion, a combination?
Combination.
Okay.
Definitely a combination, but definitely the deen has kept me grounded, because, like I said, if you lose sight of that, then you know you've lost sight of it all.
Yeah.
Whether you're Muslim, Christian, Jew, whatever.
Yeah.
you need something to ground you, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes I speak to people that are just naturally humanitarians, and that's what keeps them grounded.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because they just care about humanity. You just need something. You just need an anchor.
Exactly.
To keep you.
I don't think it even has to be religion for some people. It can be spirituality. It can be even a hobby, even that has that humanitarian aspect to it. Like some people are like crazy about making sure that the sea is clean. Some people care about the polar bears. Some people care about, do you know what I mean? There's so many things. And when you do
polar
things,
bears.
sorry, I don't know where that even came from. Let me be real.
People
like,
care about
polar bears.
bears.
Who's talking? Where did that come from?
Mad.
But yeah, it's like, as long as you have something that is of more importance than you, and like then you start treating yourself like a vessel. So like when it came to entertainment, I was very much like anything I choose to do, whether it's presenting, whether it's music, whatever it is, I see myself as a vessel to deliver something rather than this is about me. So I think that's helped me stay grounded. But overall, I think religion plays a huge aspect.
You have to, like I was saying this earlier again with
my friends,
Lily and Mass, that you have to think about the legacy you're leaving behind on the earth. Everything you're doing, does it have a purpose? Is it going to change someone's life? Is it going to, even as small as, is it going to make someone smile?
Yeah.
The reason why I do comedy is because I just like making people laugh. When you laugh, I feel like laughter is the best medicine.
You're naturally funny though. You actually have it, because you do get some comedians that it's like,
I don't even class myself as a comedian.
Okay, let me put it as just like, okay, whenever I've gone to a show with the girls, whatever, or just we've seen funny things happen, I always worry for the person on stage, because I'm like, imagine you're not funny. Like, I mean, I'm that sympathetic laugher where I'm like, like I'll laugh so it's not awkward.
When I used to do stand-up comedy.
Oh, how was that?
It was nerve-wracking, but I was so honest on stage. Literally, I remember one time I went on stage and then the DJ started playing Punjabi MC. He was like, and I was just like, I was getting on the stage, listening to music, and then obviously he waits for it and he cuts it, and I was like, the fuck is this Indian shit, bro? And everyone started laughing. I was like, bro, just because of the color of my skin, I might as well come on stage and be like, Allahu Akbar. And then everyone started laughing, and I was just like, fuck it, anyway.
It's funny though.
Yeah, but for me, I just be me, innit? Do you know what I mean? And alhamdulillah, man, if people like me for me, then.
Yeah, I think you play to your strengths. Like, it's good. Like, someone could have turned around and took that in a way where it's like, why are they playing that? But you used it in a way. Man.
You know, I mean, if we rewind back to giving advice, the one that you have to remember, you're going to get hate as well. And you get hate regardless. If you try and please everyone, it's not going to work. You know what I mean? You need to understand that not everyone is going to be happy with what you're doing. You might please the majority, and there might be that one comment that's like, oh, that's not even funny though.
Yeah.
And you start coming back to that guy. Just ignore him, man.
It's like,
haters are just people with insecurities that are projecting them onto you.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
I was actually having this conversation with the girls here as well, and it purely was the whole, like, once you realize that a lot of it is projection and deflection of personal issues, you start taking things less personal. Like, I used to be that person that, like you said, 100 nice comments, one rude comment, and I'll be thinking about that comment the whole time. Like, but they said that why is she even doing, or like just anything they could say.
Yeah, man, you could just swipe and delete, block.
Yeah,
and I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I just cuss their mum. Like the last person that commented something, I was like, yeah, but suck your mum.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I did it.
Yeah.
I did it. I felt
Sometimes
good.
you got.
I felt good. It was like a drug. I was like, yeah, go on, comment back, you pussy. So I'm swearing because there's the alcohol next to me, and I'm feeling.
No, do you know you're feeling the vibe, innit? Yeah. But we're drinking water, innit? Let's not before those comments come for both of us, because they will. They will. But I think that overall it's nice that you can maintain that sort of comfortable aspect of accepting that there's gonna be mixed opinions. I think that another thing that I want to touch on is a lot of people don't realize the amount of attention that comes on you and how to deal with it. How would you
like success?
Yeah, success.
Ooh,
Obviously I'm very much at the start of my journey, but you have been relevant for quite some time and are relevant, and people watch you and they see your success. So
kind of scaring me now.
No, but you know what it's like in the sense of you're on radio, you've got your acting, you've got a lot going on for you, and then some. I feel like for you particularly, nobody knows like what the plans are. They only see what you've executed, not what else is gonna come for the future. So with all that in mind and the growth, does it get scary for you? And if so, how do you deal with it? Like, how? I'm not
gonna lie, I still see myself as just a regular person, because that's what I am. I mean, I'm a regular guy doing regular shit. I'm just doing a different job to you.
Yeah.
You get me? It just so happens that my job involves being more in the public eye.
Yeah.
But alhamdulillah, I have control over it. Well, I'd like to think so. But there's been times where like people just like, I'll be at a wedding and someone sent me a video or posted a video and tagged me, and they've zoomed into the table that I'm sat on and got a whole video of my whole family that I don't post online about.
Oh no.
'Cause that's my family. That's my private
It's
life.
your private.
You know what I mean?
wanna
But
keep it
people don't
separate.
understand. They just think, oh yeah, he's comfortable being on camera, so I'll just shoot him as well. And I had to go at that person. I was like, what the fuck you doing? You know what I mean? It happens, and it does get scary because it's like I would never do reality TV.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's jokes sometimes when you watch it.
Yeah,
Like
it
Love
is a
Island
good
and them
trash. I
things.
like
It's
a good
trash,
bit of
isn't it? It's
trash
trash
TV.
TV. But I
Don't
think
wanna
I'm
focus.
a bit like I'm a bit too. Yeah, I'm not that dumb to be honest. So like,
There is that notion that's attached to it.
yeah, but
Being
it's like I'm a bit more.
you gotta
I'm
be
a
a
bit more
bit like.
sophisticated. Do you know what I mean? And it's like I don't want to be on reality TV because then it ends up being on on the front page for like the Sun or whatever. Like every single thing you do in your life is like, oh, he's going
You walk to
out
the
with,
grocery shop and
yeah.
like
So it's like
his
that
head
sort of
looking rough and
yeah.
really and truly just had a long night.
Bro,
Like,
that
you're
sort
not
of
gonna-
exposure, I'm not about. But then I've noticed with actors, like award-winning actors and they're artists, innit? Those people don't get that kind of attention, and that's what makes me comfortable. I'm like, alright, cool. You know, if I get papped, it's just like, oh, cool. It's just papped, but it's like, you know.
I think though also it comes across as like you have to sort of how do I put it? A lot of it comes from how you carry yourself. Like I feel like you can decrease that amount of bad paparazzi around you if you, let's say you might do reality TV. To be honest, you do catapult it when it's reality TV because those are tabloids are for those things.
It's like some people say to me, oh, you must have bad girls. I'm like, brother, I don't. Because I'm not that kind of guy that's taking my top off and singing about R&B love songs and stuff and sex songs and stuff like that, because that's the kind of attention that they attract. So that's the kind of attention they'll get. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm real about who I am. And, do you know what I mean? So
you're in your lane, sort of.
Yeah, man.
Catering to the people that are watching you.
Yeah, but it is scary though, I'm not gonna lie. It is scary when I think, oh yeah, man, I really want to do this, and one day inshallah I'm gonna be in a Hollywood movie and this that, because that's my dream. I love acting.
Yeah.
I don't love the fame. I love acting.
That's just the side effect of it.
It's a side effect that comes with it. But then I do get scared. I'm like, shit, man, where am I gonna live where no one's gonna clock me? Like sometimes the postman or like someone, the Amazon delivery guy comes knocks on my door, open it, and he's like, "You're that guy." I'm like, for fuck's sake. And I'm in a lungi and everything, like, bro.
Just completely different
In
setting,
it,
comfortable.
like, yeah, thanks, man, cool.
Thanks, appreciate
Cheers,
it.
mate. Right.
Thanks for the
You know what I mean?
support. It's nice though that you like get to a stage where people are recognized,
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna like that. So the way it is, right? If people recognize me on the street or wherever, that basically means to me you've made the effort to watch my effort, and you're showing me your appreciation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, because really and truly, as a filmmaker, if I made a movie and it was in the cinema and every seat was empty, no one turned up, then that would feel shit. So I'd want those seats to be full up.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So
regardless.
those people are like, for me, you're filling my seats and you're appreciating my work because I worked all night for it. You know what I mean? So I appreciate. But then there's some people like, you know, I was in the queue in a store one time, and then this guy just straight pulled out his camera and goes, "Yo, look who it is," and I'm just like, "Don't do that."
Yeah.
And he was confused, like, why? And I was like, "Bruv, you didn't say hello,
Yeah.
no salam, no, like, how are you? How would you like if I threw a camera in your face?"
Yeah.
And he didn't, and he just like, "Whoa."
I think that's another thing with like being a public figure where people like don't really see and might not really take into consideration that you're human.
Yeah,
I think that plays a role.
Like I said, I feel like a regular person.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Just treat
Which
me like
to an extent you are, but also you do some things that
yeah.
aren't seen as regular. That's why it's
I think
like,
I don't know.
you know.
People just assume that it's okay to do those sort of things, and you can't stop it.
I feel like somewhat as actors and as people in the public eye, everyone, they somewhat do owe a little bit of transparency with the audience, whether it's like taking pictures with them, doing this or that, or like just giving back to the community that gave to you.
No,
to
I
get
don't have
where
a
you
problem
are.
with that.
I know, but I think there is an extent, and I think it's just having that mutual
Sometimes
badge and
it's just,
respect
sometimes
for
it's common,
people.
man. Just don't be rude. Like it happened to John Cena once. He was coming out of a hotel in London, and someone just posted like filming, and he went up to the guy, "Stop doing that."
That happened to Justin Bieber as well outside his house. He asked the girls. He said, "Can you guys like please respectfully, this is my house." And then right at the end of his speech, when he's about to go, and she goes, "Can I get a picture though?" And he was like, "No, like what did you not get from that situation?" But I think that advice that you've given is absolutely amazing, and it really will help some people, because I think a lot of people underestimate the things that they want to do with the creative industry, so up and down. So you can never really know what to expect. So what you've said, you've really dropped some gems. And before we sort of wrap up things, I wanted to ask you about the future of Mr. Islah. Can you tell us anything? And if you can't, just what can we expect from you in the future in general?
No, I'm going home later.
Gonna put your feet up.
Yeah, put my feet up. Got work tomorrow. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know myself. I'm just chasing what I'm chasing. I'm out there trying to make people happy. You know, I'm trying to put messages out there. I'm trying to, you know, change the narrative for Muslims in the world. I'm trying to make opportunities for other people. yeah, that's it, man. I just pursuing what I'm doing and just
Your purpose.
my purpose, and just to be happy and be content.
I love that.
And just die a satisfied person, knowing that I've done enough. I don't think I'll ever feel that way.
Yeah, but that's a perfectionist thing.
Yeah.
But it's a good thing. It's something to aim for.
Yeah, that's it, man. And I just hope I die uttering the words of Allah, and that's it, man.
I love that. That's beautiful.
That's it.
Amazing. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Man, my
I'm really
pleasure,
happy. Man. But before we end,
and you want to shout out?
No. No. I don't want to. I actually got something for you. And because I know you're a non-drinker,
I swear down.
And I just wanted to give you a little something from the Elite Drinks company. I hope you like
Elite
it.
Drinks give me an Eid present.
Do you know what I mean? Have a look. It's a little put together of
Evian. Oh, you shouldn't
Stop
have.
it. Don't make me look bad on camera. She gave him 50p water bottles.
Mad. Okay.
Loads of different Fantas just for you to try out. Just
I didn't even know these flavors existed.
Exactly. Exclusive. EliteDrinks.com.
Pineapple flavored soda. Mango.
We got the accents going now. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on the show. And
my pleasure,
it's been
man.
a pleasure. And I will see you on the Asian Network very soon.
Big up. Hey, yo, big up this girl.
October.
She's worked so hard putting this thing together, and she's been multitasking. She's got like 3 best friends behind that are helping her. And bruv, I'm proud of her, man.
Thank you so much. I couldn't do it without you guys, honestly. Thank you
so
much.
Applause.